A troubled partnership arms sales and human rights. The United States and Saudi Arabia have a long and complicated relationship. It is a partnership built on a foundation of energy interdependence and shared security interests. However, this alliance has frequently been strained by concerns over human rights. Saudi Arabia's human rights record has been a source of considerable tension, particularly in Washington. This tension came to a head in 2018 following the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The gruesome killing of Khashoggi, a Washington Post journalist and critic of the Saudi government, sent shockwaves around the world. Khashoggi was murdered inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. American intelligence agencies concluded that the operation was carried out by Saudi agents and approved by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman himself. This incident triggered a wave of international condemnation and put immense pressure on the United States to take action against its long-standing ally. The U.S. Congress, in a rare bipartisan rebuke, pushed for sanctions on Saudi Arabia, including restrictions on arms sales. The Khashoggi murder and the ensuing fallout cast a dark shadow over the U.S.-Saudi relationship. The incident highlighted the complexities of balancing strategic interests with moral obligations. It underscored the challenge of promoting human rights while maintaining ties with an authoritarian regime that plays a pivotal role in regional stability. The assassination of Jamal Khashoggi marked a turning point in U.S.-Saudi relations. The Biden administration, during the 2020 presidential campaign, vowed to make Saudi Arabia a pariah on the world stage. Shortly after taking office, President Biden announced a suspension of offensive arms sales to Saudi Arabia. This decision was a significant departure from the Trump administration's policy of unwavering support for the kingdom.
However, the Biden administration also recognized the strategic importance of Saudi Arabia. The kingdom remains a critical player in the Middle East. It is the world's largest oil exporter and a key counterterrorism partner.
The administration adopted a calibrated approach, seeking to pressure Saudi Arabia on human rights while preserving the core elements of the bilateral relationship. While suspending some arms sales, the U.S. continued to provide Saudi Arabia with defensive weapons systems.
The Khashoggi murder also led to increased scrutiny of U.S. arms sales to Saudi Arabia from Congress. Lawmakers from both parties expressed concerns about the civilian casualties caused by the Saudi-led military intervention in Yemen.
Despite the initial freeze on offensive arms sales, the Biden administration has gradually approved several significant arms deals with Saudi Arabia since 2023. These sales have primarily focused on defensive systems, such as Patriot and THAAD missile defense batteries. These systems are designed to protect Saudi Arabia from ballistic missile attacks by Houthi rebels in Yemen.
The Biden administration has argued that these sales are essential for safeguarding U.S. national security interests. They contend that by bolstering Saudi Arabia's defenses, the U.S. is enhancing regional stability and deterring Iranian aggression.
In addition to arms sales, there have been renewed diplomatic efforts to ease tensions between the two countries. High-level visits have resumed, with senior U.S. officials traveling to Saudi Arabia to discuss a range of issues, including energy security, counterterrorism cooperation, and regional conflicts. These diplomatic engagements reflect a pragmatic approach adopted by both sides. While differences remain on issues like human rights and the war in Yemen, both countries recognize the importance of cooperation on shared challenges.
This approach underscores the delicate balancing act the U.S. must perform. It aims to maintain a strategic partnership with Saudi Arabia while addressing the significant human rights concerns that continue to plague the relationship.
Despite efforts to mend relations with Saudi Arabia, Congress remains a significant obstacle to unrestricted arms sales. Lawmakers continue to express concerns about Saudi Arabia's human rights record, particularly its involvement in the Yemen war. Congress has repeatedly sought to block or impose conditions on arms sales to Saudi Arabia.
One key concern is the issue of civilian casualties in Yemen. The Saudi-led coalition's bombing campaign has resulted in thousands of civilian deaths, drawing widespread condemnation.
Another major concern is the lack of accountability for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. The Biden administration has imposed sanctions on some Saudi officials, but stopped short of targeting Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Congressional scrutiny will remain a significant factor in shaping the future of U.S.-Saudi arms sales.